Hi there. This is Gary McDougall here, and what I really wanted to talk about this time is love as a way of life. Choosing love, making the decision to love, making the decision to love yourself, love your pain, and love everything that shows up. You know, the people in your life, your parents, your children. Um, yeah, making decisions that reflect your heart. You know, you know, whether it be with your house or the house you choose, or the neighborhood you choose, or the life, or just imagine like if everybody followed their heart and loved, what kind of a world we live in. And so yeah, I just want to just talk about that a little bit, and you know some of the things that kind of come up for me in the past week, and some of the challenges I've faced and faced with my heart and faced with love. So one of the things I want to start out with is I'm going to publish this on Tuesday, August 26th, and on that day is a very special day. Is my father's 60th birthday, and I decided that I wanted to put my money where my mouth was, and I wanted to love my dad and express that to him. It's something new that I've been doing this year, is telling him that I love him at the end of conversations, and which is totally was scary, and I was afraid of rejection, afraid of all this stuff, but just decided to do it anyway. It's a pretty simple thing. The most simplest thing I could do is just say to somebody, "I love you," and but so challenging sometimes and so painful to be vulnerable and to face fear, or to open your heart and not know how it's going to received, or open your heart and it be rejected, and to experience that pain, and it's I think it's so natural for humans to want to avoid pain, but I've decided just to kind of just face life with love, with an open heart, be vulnerable, be open, and not really depend on others to fill up my heart. I guess the basis of spirituality is not to try to find happiness in a job, or find happiness with a partner, or but find it first within, and just give it. So love as a way of leadership, choosing to find love in yourself and loving those people around you. So that's what I did with my dad. I called him up, and maybe I want to start with, I really wanted to be there in Prince Edward Island. He's going to be there with my brothers, and I wanted to be there with them so bad. I prayed to God. I asked God, I said, "God, I want to be in PEI. If you can make a way that I could be there, please be there." I get a phone call a couple of days ago from my brother saying, "Could you come out? Want to be there for the birthday?" And such an awesome brother. Amazing. I love you. And I said, it's just not a good time. We're starting our business. We're helping people. We're just getting the business going, just getting money flowing, and I just really feel like we have to. It's for our best, highest good to just keep going. He's like, "I'll pay for your ticket," and so my prayer was answered. I asked for it, and it came, but still in my heart, like the most loving thing I felt was to stay here, and so I'm here, and I didn't go. So I prayed for it, I got it, but it wasn't for my best. So I chose to follow the highest, most loving path, which was to stay at our house. So I love my father. So I decided instead of going, I called him up and I said I wanted to be there. And I told him I loved him. And I just opened my heart, and I just said it. And he didn't really respond to it. He really didn't say much, which was okay. Because I'm choosing to love regardless of how it's received. Maybe it's received, maybe people think it's corny, or they're afraid of it, or they're afraid to do it themselves, or maybe our parents weren't loved by their parents. Maybe their parents suffered through war, or lost a loved one and suffered, and they weren't able to love their children. And maybe my grandparents didn't love because their parents had a hard time loving. Maybe their parents went to war and had all this suffering, and they didn't express their feelings, and had all this pain, and just didn't want to open to that pain. And because they didn't open to their pain, they weren't able to open to love either. And pain will hide love. So I've decided to kind of, instead of depend on my dad to feel love, or my children to feel love, or my partner to feel love, I've decided to take the step just to love myself and love my own pain, heal my pain, ask God, ask the angels, just heal this pain, heal this fear of rejection, and love. So I'm gonna love my dad. I'm gonna love my brothers. I'm gonna love my family. I'm gonna love my children. And and the final thing, I kind of felt like I keep dealing with this rejection, this feeling of rejection, this pain in my heart. And what came to me was the last thing I'm rejecting God, because God is in us. It's the love that's in us. It's the love that unites us, that makes us one, that makes us connected. So I'm going to stop rejecting God. I'm going to love. I'm going to allow this love to flow through my heart, and love the people around me, and love everything inside of me, and love everything, and and see if I can do my absolute best for the rest of my life to allow that love to express itself through me in my actions, in my work, with how I walk on the earth. Taking a bicycle to the grocery store down the road instead of my car. And, it just, as a form of respecting the air and loving the air we breathe. As, gardening organically. I talk about this in all my videos, but gardening organically because I love the soil. And there's another thing that kind of came to me is God is life and God is in every living thing. That if I'm using chemical fertilizers on my yard and I'm killing microbes, am I killing God? God, I know, just a deep thought I had, but I want to support life. I want to support the life in the earth. I want to support the life in my heart, in other people's hearts. I want to support love. So that's what I'm choosing to do. And yes, I love my dad, love my brothers. And another thing I was thinking about love, and being vulnerable. How hard is it to be vulnerable and open? It's scary. But yeah, just to face the fear and do it. And what came to me also was my son. We have some, there's some painful times with my son. We're not going back to school. There's a strike in school. So our son's at home and he's having a great time right now playing with his siblings. And it's amazing to see them play and have fun. But, sometimes they hit each other. It doesn't mean it's bad or he's a bad kid. Or is he just expressing his anger and he doesn't know how to express his feelings? It's just coming out. So instead of punishing or time out, something that we've done is we just love them. We'll pick them up. And obviously there's something going on. There's something he's trying to express, anger or frustration, or maybe his younger brother hit him over the head and he just hit him back. You don't know. So we just decided, instead of punishing our kids or being authoritative or angry, it's like being authoritative, but in a loving way, like being there as a rock of love. And this thought, my meditation that came through is so often he'd come out of school and he'd be hurting. You could see the hurt on his face. There's sadness. They're like, why is he suffering in school? Like, he loves school. He loves his friends. He's so smart. He learns so many things. It's amazing. And I realized that my son, he's pretty sensitive. And just even a little comment, like somebody might be making fun of the monkey stickers on his bike, but he'll take that personally. It'll hurt. He'll feel hurt. I was sensitive like that growing up, so I understand there's compassion there for my son. So he'd come out of school and maybe for an hour he'd be suffering, he'd be angry, he'd hit his brother or sister, or he'd just be snappy. And instead of punishing him for that, or instead of like judging him or blaming the school or whatever, I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe he's just tired. Is we've decided just to embrace him and give him space or give him time and love him. So we're loving our parents, we're loving our kids. These are examples that my wife and I are doing, how we're trying to love this world and bring more love into the world. And loving ourselves and loving each other. Owning our stuff, not blaming my wife for pissing me off or getting me upset. Owning my anger. And then asking God, asking the angels to take this anger. And I guess how I found love was just through the process of releasing pain, releasing anger, releasing sadness. And, love would always just remain. There was never nothing. There was never emptiness. There was always something. There was love. So that's love is our way of life. It's of healing, of growing, of expanding, of allowing the soul of God and his love just to move me. If I sit in meditation long enough and let go of anger, let go of sadness, there will be a love and there will be like this inspiration. The word inspiration, I've said this before. I heard it from like Wayne Dyer or Deepak Chopra. And they talked about the spirit of love, in spirit, inspired. If you sit in your spirit long enough, if you sit in meditation long enough, your body is going to want to move. If you sit and process your anger, process your sadness, process it, it's not like there will be nothing left and there'll be nothingness. You might go to a different dimension where there's this feeling of like stillness and calmness, but when you come back into your body, there will be a spirit of love or a spirit of God or something that's going to want to move you into action. If you just honor that feeling and honor that insight that you get, like I got this insight to do this video, just honor that insight and just do it, and face all that pain that might go along with it. You'll grow and expand and blossom into the flower, the beautiful tree, the beautiful whatever your destiny is or what God's intended you to be in this moment. 5 years ago, my purpose or what I felt inspired to do is not what I feel inspired to do today, So just being in the moment and allowing God to work through the present moment, or that love to work through in the present moment. that's the way of life we live. So it's really beautiful. It's brought back my health. I feel alive again. My relationship's fixing, and now I'm doing work that I absolutely love today because I've listened to that love that is in my heart. So if you want to find your purpose, if you want to find your love, it's like love is a way of life. What's our way of life? We it's not a religious. We're not following any certain teachings. It's just like sit in meditation, sit in our heart, feel our pain, feel our suffering, feel our whatever, and allowing that love just to kind of move. Like a river downstream. There's just flow and there's ease in our life now, and there's joy and still a little bit of suffering, but that's something to bring to the meditation chair, something to bring to our angels and say, God, you can have this anger. You can take this anger, take this sadness. We'll give it to you for free. And God will take it because that's what the spirits and the angels are there for. They're there to help and assist us evolve. This is where, like, the purpose of my life, I've realized is that my purpose in life is to evolve and to grow and be the fullest, most open, most, just to live at full capacity with an open body, and bringing all this energy, all this spirit, all this, the thoughts of my mind, and just align it with my soul, and align it with the soul of God or the heart of God, and allow it to guide me. I think there's something else that was coming to me. Let's see if it'll come. About love and about God. So what's the purpose of God? If we're cells in the body of God, this is the thing that came to me. If we're cells in the body of God, and like everything's harmonious, and if you took away all humans on this planet, there's this beautiful harmony on this planet. Bring humans in the mix. Humans can be harmonious. Humans can live with harmony on this planet. I think as we become harmonious with ourselves and in our bodies, there can be more harmony on this planet. So I'm choosing love to find harmony in my body. And if we're cells in the body of God and my body's harmonious, can God's body, can this whole universe live harmoniously? If every single person on this planet, all 7 billion of us, were harmonious with ourselves and in love and following love, I think there'd be a lot of harmony. So I'm going to make the decision to change me. I'm going to be a leader, and I'm not going to wait for my dad to love me. I'm not going to wait for my son to love me. I'm not going to wait for anybody to give me permission to stand in love. I'm just going to go out and do it. And what if everybody just went out and did it? They just stood out there and loved and followed their hearts and found happiness within first, and then shared that. What a world this would be. So that's my dream. That's my dream. That's the future that I want to provide for my kids. That's the future I want to provide for the 7 generations in the future. That's the future I want to provide for everyone on this planet, to support life, to support love, and to love. Now I'm totally rambling on. So I love you, and you're worth it, and life is awesome, and love is awesome, and God is awesome. So I love you.